Welcome to the Swing Trading with Cycles channel. It's November 5th, 2023. We're going to do an update on natural gas today. And remember, this is in the context of the broader market potentially breaking out. Just a quick reminder on seasonality. This is from TrendSpider. So November has a 35% win rate, which is to say 35% of the time November is positive. And December is not much better. In fact, January, February don't look great either. So this next like 4 month stretch, seasonality wise, not the best. That's good to just keep in mind. And also just keeping in mind, April is the best month of the year for this thing generally, and that has played out. This is UNG as a proxy here. So let's look at the natural gas chart itself really quickly. So important. Let's start with the weekly actually. We had this potential top here after this long consolidation, potentially a false breakout. But now we've come back and made a higher high above this high here. This now puts us on week 29. We didn't even get below the 10-week moving average. So this all feels like we're moving into a weekly cycle top soon, which could make sense with the November time frame in terms of weakness. So that's your weekly, and you think about the daily. We're this is a new daily cycle, and so it's all about what happens in this daily cycle, right? This was your bottom, and so right, so you had this rally. So this was your low, and then you had a 4 day rally. These 3 days, and then this gap up, and that was on day four, and that has actually been your high so far. We'll actually mark that right here. And so the last 4 days, 5 days, Friday being the last day, have all been basically consolidation inside the range of this candle that marks the high. So that high right now is 3.643. And so that's important. We're just bouncing around that level. So the high spot, three spot 643, and the low is 3.435. So everything inside that is noise. And in fact, you could say this is a false breakdown of that range. We popped back up, and we've now kind of tightened up the range since then. And so this is probably your new price discovery zone, right? So price may be coming all the way down to there. So something like that. And so this is day four, so that would mean that this is day nine. This was day nine. So it's still relatively early in the daily cycle. This does look like a bull flag. And so you could get yourself, like, it's a question of is this going to be a right translated or left translated daily cycle? If we are going to have a bearish rest of the year, obviously it would be left translated. And keep in mind, we're moving potentially into a weekly cycle top. So it would make sense that the high for this daily cycle is also our ICH, important context. And if you look at the monthly, we're actually, this is just giving more evidence to the idea that April, that April low was our low, and we're now moving up in a new long-term cycle. It doesn't mean it has to be a bullish long-term cycle. That's not guaranteed by any means. But right now, we're just consolidating at the upper end of the range. So the low from last month, from October, is all the way down at 2.820. So it'll be a long way down. But that's your general kind of idea that you're inside this larger range. Not much, doesn't mean much until we break out. Okay, and we can see what that means for some proxies. We'll look at UNG. This is your daily chart. Same formation, essentially. It's a new daily cycle. I mean, wow. Look at that. Tough to trade that day. This is like a little abandoned baby kind of thing. And so here, you would think your obvious potential support is down here around $7.10. Obviously, a very ominous looking candle for Friday. But this is still that same kind of idea where we're kind of chopping in the general range of this candle here. Obviously, we're making taking big stabs below it and above it. And so that's the picture for UNG. What about BOIL? Same ominous candle for BOIL makes sense. Again, same kind of idea, right? Like we're really tightening up into this range here. So 67, 68, between 68 and 63 and a half, something like that. And let's look at LNG, which is a natural gas producer. So this one was interesting because it had this like big rally, after this long consolidation, and then we collapsed. Looked like this was a false breakout, but now we've come back to retest the zone, and this is a potential double top. So this is going to be very interesting to watch. Again, in that context. Well, actually, let's see what is the what's LNG seasonality. So, basically even money for the next. Oh, but actually, very bullish January. Actually, January is the best. So this is LNG, a specific company, obviously. That's going back 16 years, and so how this resolves is going to be really important. What is this low here? So 173. This is going to be interesting. Let's see it. What is that? What does the monthly look like? Yeah, this thing looks like it wants to explode. I mean, look at this monthly chart, right? We're just hovering beneath all-time highs, freshly made. When is that? Back in December of last year. So basically a year ago. This is like a small little cup and handle. Ooh, this one is going to be really interesting. And in terms of the daily cycle, what day is it on? Right, so it looks like this is day 22. So you're certainly not very early in the daily cycle. So that's your risk here, that you do just pop a little bit higher and then you begin your daily cycle decline. But this is certainly one to watch because of this little chart formation here. This little consolidation looks like it's about to kind of explode up. So that's your update for natural gas. Thanks for watching.